Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. And by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. Could not be a better night weather-wise for baseball. What a beautiful day here to open up the weekend series. Interleague play, the Brewers and the Mariners. And Milwaukee in dire need of a victory, and this may pan out to be okay according to this anyway. Results so far in 2016, the Brewers have done very well against left-handed pitching. Wade LeBlanc on the mound tonight for the Mariners. The Brew Crew 23 wins against only 15 defeats. We'll see how it all turns out. Brent Suter set for his major league debut for Milwaukee. A couple of lefties ready to battle a pretty good Mariners lineup here. Rock and I are coming back with first pitch from Seattle next. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Spend the night with luxury. We feel like it's luxurious here in Seattle. Perfect night for baseball. Craig Kishan, Bill Schroeder on board for the weekend. Safeco Field in Seattle, 89 degrees, record heat out here. The good news is the humidity is low. It's around 30%. Very noticeable from the series in Chicago midweek. Craig Counsell, Brewers skipper, 113 wins, 144 losses, and his team coming off a sweep at the hands of the Chicago Cubs. And let's take a look at the Brewers batting order. It's going to be Jonathan Villar at the top of the order at third base, then Broxton in center. Braun will DH in this game, and Perez will back cleanup. Carter at first. Santana gets a start right out of the gates in right. Heaney the catcher, Arcia at short, and Jake Elmore will be out in left field. And Wade LeBlanc ready to take the mound.
Yeah, veteran left-hander. He's with his 6 different major league team. The Seattle Mariners picked him up from the Toronto Blue Jays. He was in the minor leagues. They picked him up on the 22nd. He's made 7 starts. And the Mariners are 7-2 in his start. I should say 6-1 in his starts. He's been throwing the baseball pretty well. Doesn't throw very hard.
First pitch is high for a ball to Jonathan Villar. 296 on the season. Career numbers against the Mariners. Pretty good for Jonathan Villar. Put up some numbers with the San Diego Padres. Houston Astros, of course, being over in the American League side, AL West. They've gone at it before, so hopefully this will pan out. The Brewers have not been in Seattle for interleague play. This is about a 3-year span now.
Yeah.
Go back to 2013. They won 2 out of 3 games here.
Yeah, that's when Ken Griffey Jr.'s number was retired here in Seattle. We actually had Jr. on the air with us during that series 3 years ago.
And Villar strikes out to open up the game. So LeBlanc gets the strikeout. Let's set that defense behind LeBlanc here.
Yeah, well, the Menards defense, the Mariners flashed some pretty good leather. Only 7 errors so far this year for the Seattle Mariners. That's about middle of the pack. You got O'Malley, Martin, and Gutierrez in the outfield. Seager, Marte, Cano, and Romero from third to first. And Chris Iannetta behind home plate. He'll be catching Wade LeBlanc here tonight.
Here's Keon Broxton with 1 out here in the opening frame for Milwaukee. 234 in the season for Keon Broxton. His first chance to face the Mariners. Of course, he is a Brewer rookie, been up and down from the minors, but boy, the way he has been hitting lately, he has found a spot in center field for Milwaukee.
Yeah, really, game's starting to really come around for Keon, not only at the plate but in the field, on the bases, and very pleased with his progress this year.
350 at the plate since his latest recall on July 25th. Yeah, boy, when he gets on base, he's fun to watch. He's got 10 stolen bases during that time. Let's see what he can do early against LeBlanc. There's a high strike. Keon Broxton's numbers since July 25th looking pretty sharp.
Yeah, look at it, 10 stolen bases. So when he gets on, not only does he have good speed, very smart base runner. Not just the stolen bases, but he takes that extra base. Be tricky for the Brewers running tonight when you have the left-hander out on the mound. LeBlanc with a pretty good move to first. Tough loss for the Crew yesterday in Chicago.
Yeah, they got swept by the Chicago Cubs in that 4-game series. It was just an uphill battle almost from the opening frame in each game for the Brewers. And right now a 4-game losing streak ties their season high. So this is a big game for them, for Craig Counsell to stay the course. They've really done a nice job avoiding losing streaks this year.
Yeah, it's going to be tough because the Mariners are playing some pretty good baseball. They won 10 of the last 13. So got themselves right back in the race.
High fly ball left field. Sean O'Malley waiting for it to come down. Out number 2. That'll bring up Ryan Braun, who is the Brewers' designated hitter tonight. And of course, he crashed into the wall, that left field wall at Wrigley Field. And let's take a look at what happened on Tuesday. He would miss only 1 game, believe it or not, out of this. And it was a hard crash. Talked to him during batting practice today, and he said he pushed it a little bit heading back out on the field yesterday, but he says he feels good and will take the day off from the outfield anyway.
Yeah, he actually kind of twisted both ankles. He didn't realize he twisted the one, but said he woke up the next day, had a little black and blue. Tough guy, so he's back out there today. It's good to have the designated hitter in play today.
This worked out very well for Ryan Braun. A little slow roller to third. Seager's got it. And a 1-2-3 inning for LeBlanc. And now we're set for the kid to make his major league debut next. Here in Seattle, welcome to the show, Suter. Brent Suter set to make his major league debut for the Brewers. And Scott Service, a familiar name to the state of Wisconsin. Coon Valley, Wisconsin native, is in his first year as the Mariners manager. And boy, they are having themselves a nice resurgence to the season, 64 and 56. They're 7 games out of the division race right now, set by Texas, but only 3 behind in the wild card. And here is Suter's first major league pitch, and it is in for a strike. Good start.
It's just a matter of whether Suter's going to be able to settle down, relax, and just pitch his game. He doesn't throw very hard. It's kind of a throwback game here tonight, Craig. 2 guys, 2 lefties that don't throw very hard.
Slow roller. Arcia bare hands and makes the play. And Suter gets that first out, first batter.
And able to get in on the hands of O'Malley. And nice pitch. He mixes it up nicely. You see a jam shot off the bat of O'Malley, and look at Arcia making a nice bare hand play. Let's check out the Mariners lineup.
So Gutierrez steps up next. Robinson, Cano, Nelson Cruz, and Kyle Seager. Those are your 3 home run hitters to watch. They have combined for 80 home runs on the season. Here's Gutierrez, the right fielder. 239, 11 home runs, and 29 RBIs. But it's Brent Suter, and you talked about it, Rock. Not a hard thrower, upper 80s, maybe 90, but he works fast. It'll be interesting to see with his pace if maybe next time through the order, if the Mariners don't try to slow up that pace a little bit.
Yeah, he doesn't mess around too much. Yeah, first time through, maybe they might get a jump on him. You see his numbers down in AAA. He split time last year between AA and AAA. Does a real good job keeping the baseball in the ballpark. Look at the numbers down in Colorado Springs. Only 5 home runs in 26 appearances. 15 of them starts, and earned run average under 4.
Big swing and a miss by Gutierrez. 2-2 the count. Suter 10 days shy of his 27th birthday. So at the numbers that he has been able to accomplish the last couple of years and his age, this is his time tonight. Inside, and Gutierrez runs the count full.
It's got to feel good for him to have a familiar face behind home plate. They got Manny Pena, who was catching him down in the minor leagues. That's always a calming influence.
Suter 8 to work. This one pulled foul. Manny Acta, the third base coach of the Mariners. Veteran coaching staff for Scott Service, who's in his first gig as managing at any level. And Suter loses Gutierrez inside, so first base runner for the Mariners via the walk against Suter. And let's take a look at that defense behind Suter.
Yeah, brought to you by Menards tonight. You got Jake Elmore out in left with Ryan Braun acting as the designated hitter. Ian Broxton in center. Good to have Domingo Santana back in the lineup. He's off the disabled list. He's in right. VR Arce on the right side. You got, well, I should say on the left side, Jeanette Carter on the right side, and Manny Pena behind home plate, catching Brent Suter.
There's Domingo Santana. Boy, he has battled to stay on the big league level because of injuries, and big final 6 weeks for him coming up. And there's the pickoff move, and it sails wide of Carter, and Gutierrez will move up. I'm not sure if there was a little miscommunication there or not.
I think just a bad throw. I mean, Suter has a very good pickoff move to first base. We were talking to Craig Counsell before the game, getting a bit of a scouting report. You can see him barely stepping toward first and sails it over the head of Chris Carter. Yeah, important for Suter to be able to, get a clean inning in the first to get that confidence going.
Robinson Cano. '27 home runs in 75 RBIs. Hasn't faced the Brewers a whole lot. Of course, came over from the Yankees, been in the American League, and Suter Keeping an eye on Gutierrez over at second base now.
Arcia not even close to the bag. He threw it right over second base.
Big shift on Cano as Arcia is just on the second base side. And Perez out in shallow right. There's a strike hitting the outside corner.
And one of the best run producing second basemen in a long time, Robinson Cano, having another great season, not just with the home runs, the doubles. He's a doubles machine. And this is a very potent offensive attack. They hit a lot of home runs.
This one hit hard center field. Keon Broxton on the run and turns and makes the catch just in front of the wall. Cano gave it a ride.
Yeah, Goody hit it to center field. I mean, you know, I guess in Colorado Springs that's a home run, but you know, here in the major leagues in Seattle, you know, the ballpark's going to hold shots like that in the center field. And using every bit of this ballpark out there in the deeper reaches in center, Keon Broxton able to make the catch. Yeah, Mariners are third in the American League in homers. They can bomb with the best of them. They got 3 guys, including this guy right here. He's got 31 home runs.
Nelson Cruz steps in. Got the home run power, the RBI power, and they bat consecutively. Cano, Cruz, and Seager waiting on deck. 2 down here in the opening frame for Brent Suter, is making his major league debut on the mound for Milwaukee.
And he does like to work quickly, even with men on base, which is rare. You know, there are pitchers that work quickly with nobody on out of the windup, but even with nobody or with somebody on base, he likes to get it and go.
This one pulled just foul. Here's the number combination of the 3 guys we're talking about, Seager, Cano, and Cruz. Check out the RBIs and the home run total. All batting well.
Almost half the team home runs right there.
Outside now, 3-1. This one popped up right side. Carter giving chase, and it's going to go into the stands. So full count now to Nelson Cruz.
I like the way he's been on the attack, not messing around. Talking to Craig Counsell before the game, he says he hopes that Suter doesn't touch 88 miles an hour. He says if he does, then that sinker is going to flatten out a little bit. So not a hard thrower, neither one of these 2 guys.
And he loses Cruz. So 2 walks here in the opening frame. Runners at first and second for Kyle Seager. James Hoy behind the plate. Marvin Hudson, Jim Joyce, Chad Fairchild. Jim Joyce, the crew chief. He's got the familiar look among the entire umpiring crew, doesn't he?
Got the nice mustache working.
Very recognizable. Here's Kyle Seager, the third baseman. Another left-handed stick for the Mariners. And Pena coming out to talk to Suter. Seager 285, 22 home runs and 79 RBIs, and our quick trip to the mound for Manny Pena.
Yeah, that's exactly why you got Manny Pena in the lineup tonight, to calm him down. He recognized something in that delivery and went out and gave a quick chat to him, and right back at it. Knows him pretty well.
Tell you what, this group of home run hitters for Seattle, they hit left-handed pitching very well too. Seager has 8 home runs off left-handed pitchers. Cruz has 14 to lead the majors. Pop up in the infield. Pena going out, Carter coming in, and it's in foul territory. And the Brewer catcher makes the play. And Brent Suter, a big breath, sigh of relief. He gets through the first inning.
Mondays left this season. The Brewers return home on Monday to host the Rockies, and Terrace Reserve tickets for just $6, courtesy of Miller High Life. Visit brewers.com/highlife. Miller Mondays.
Here's Hernan Perez to lead off the Brewers' second inning. The Brewers are right back at it on Monday as Colorado comes to town after this road trip ends. Perez, long fly ball left field. O'Malley going back at the warning track and makes the catch. Ball's traveling here. None have left. But that air, I'll tell you what, that humidity is low. It's warm. It's windy.
Yeah, it looks like the wind's blowing gently in from left field, but you don't know how it's going to affect the baseball. Perez gives this one a pretty good ride out in left field. And so O'Malley, playing relatively shallow, able to go back and make the catch in front of the wall. Gave that one a pretty good ride. We saw one of the best at-bats of the year yesterday at Wrigley Field. Chapman on the mound and Hernan Perez at the plate. About a 10-11 pitch at bat, able to single into left. What a battle that was. Boy, really showing the improvement at the plate for Hernan Perez.
Here's Chris Carter now. Fouls the first pitch away. Takes this one outside. Yeah, Perez, you can just see almost game by game, Rock, his growth throughout the whole year compared to what he was doing a year ago.
Yeah, a lot of confidence. And why wouldn't he? He's had a lot of success. No matter where Craig Counsell puts him in the field and in the batting order, it's been very good. An impressive season for him.
Craig Counsell was asked before the game, now that Domingo Santana is back. Carter hits this one a long ways left field, but right at O'Malley, and there are two down. He was asked before the game, now that Domingo Santana is back, where does Perez fit into the mix? You know, you got Scooter at second, you got VR at third. He said Perez is going to play just about every day. I guarantee it. He'll play somewhere. The
bat plays. I mean, he can play anywhere, so if somebody gets a day off, he's going to move around and continue to get his at-bats. Well, can't keep that bat on the bench.
That's right. In the last week plus, he's played some first base, right field, second base, third base. He could play shortstop. Here's Santana. Back after a rehab stint with Wisconsin at first and then Colorado Springs.
Yeah, he's missed just about all year. It's been kind of a rough year for him. That shoulder, then the elbow issue, and Brewers sorely missed his bat in the lineup this year.
Game number 120 tonight. Is that what you counted up? He's only played in 40.
Yeah.
Santana showing so much promise a year ago after the trade with the Astros. Played center field for most of the second half of the season because the Brewers needed a center fielder out there. And then in spring training moved to right and has not been able to stay healthy. Strikes out here to end the Brewer half of inning number 2. Package. You're guaranteed a ticket to all the top matchups, including opening night on October 26th and games against the world champion Cleveland Cavaliers, Golden State Warriors, and Chicago Bulls. Visit foxsportswisconsin.com and click on upcoming events for details. We go to the Mariners half of inning number 2. Brent Suter making his major league debut. Got out of a situation in the first inning, runners at first and second. He put them on via the walk, survived an error, did not give up a run, and is facing Stefan Romero right now to lead off Seattle's second inning.
Always good to be able to get that clean inning, a scoreless inning for your major league debut. Give you confidence going out the rest of the way. Just a strike thrower. Looking at his numbers down in the minor leagues this year, AAA. 26 games, 15 starts. He walked only 8 batters. 8 walks, 50 strikeouts for Suter. And that covered 81 in the third inning. That's pretty impressive, only 8 walks.
This one hit to left down the line, and it is a foul ball, not by much. As Jake Elmore collects a new souvenir for the fans here at Safeco. So 2-2 the count with Romero coming back. 15 starts at AAA this season with a 3.50. That's pretty impressive and shows the front office and the manager Craig Counsell that you can pitch in Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest reasons why he's been rewarded here. And Craig Counsell was saying before the game, the scouting report tonight takes a back seat because he's making his debut. He's just got to go out there and throw what got him here, and maybe some nerves here early on. Third walk.
You know, and the nerves are going to show most in the off-speed stuff. He's been a little inconsistent the first couple innings here with the curveball, the cut fastball, a little inconsistent, but you figure as the game goes on, he's going to relax a little bit. And last year combined between AA and AAA, 8-4 and a 236 earned run average. That's pretty impressive stuff.
Here's Chris Iannetta, the Mariners catcher. First pitch, a strike from Suter. Suter, a 31st round draft pick by the Brewers back in 2012 out of Harvard. He was born in Chicago and raised in Cincinnati. Went to the well-known athletic high school, Moeller High School in Cincinnati. Just so happened to produce such big names as Ken Griffey Jr. So kind of ironic he's making his debut here with 3 number 24s all over the field as Griffey went into the Hall of Fame this year. Ground ball VR, could be 2. The relay skips and Carter can't handle it. I don't know what happened to Perez's throw there, if it slipped out of his hand or not. And they get the lead runner at second.
Yeah, that was not a very good turn out there. Not sure what went on. A little bit out of sync, out of rhythm. Kind of a nonchalant throw, and it looked like Perez really wasn't in position to make a good hard throw over to first base and ate up Chris Carter. I mean, that is a mistake you can't make. That's got to be a double play.
Well, 1 down and 1 on for Leonis Martin. Martin at 242. He's got some pop, 13 home runs. Pops this one up, foul territory. VR should have some room and makes the catch.
Yeah, he's chasing Manny Acta out of that coach's box. Acta kept moving away, just couldn't get out of the way of VR, but he made the catch anyway. Did what he could, he just didn't see where the ball was.
That brings up Ketel Marte. Number 9 hitter in this Mariners lineup. .257 for Marte. A lot of players on both of these rosters have not faced each other. You got some young guns, some first timers here for Milwaukee, and of course interleague play. These teams will face each other really no more than every 3 years. Two down for Suter. There's a strike to Marte, who was maybe looking to bunt. But the count now 2 strikes.
This is a good stop, though. I mean, for interleague play, it's always great to come to Seattle. What a great city on the Puget Sound. A lot to do during the day, maybe too much to do during the day.
I don't think there's ever too much to do anywhere, is there?
I don't know.
Especially if you're on the road, Rock.
Got to pace yourself.
You don't want to be stuck in that hotel room, though. Get out and enjoy a little bit, keep the mind clear. Oh, 0-2, and this one just foul on the right side.
They were telling stories on the way over here on the bus about the old Kingdome. Really couldn't enjoy a night like this, the Kingdome. Good hitters ballpark, though.
A permanent roof. They have the retractable roof here in Seattle, which is a far different cry than the Miller Park roof. Miller Park roof more of a fan, and this one is basically just slides one panel right over the top of the playing surface. And what you saw there, it actually is housed over in center and right field. It just slides across a track. Closes in about 12 minutes, pretty close to what Miller Park would close.
And you have to have a roof here in Seattle, right? Rains a lot.
I would imagine this will be one of the rare weekends where they have not had to use it at least once. I know you're knocking on wood. I probably just jinxed it, but it's not in the forecast. What can I tell you? A little slow roller, Arcia. And Suter is through 2 scoreless innings in his major league debut. Hubie Abraham, 1-800-800-5678. Hubie Abraham, tell them you mean business. Beautiful Seattle, Washington. That's where the Brewers are playing all weekend in interleague play. Top of the 3rd we go. No score, Brewers and the Mariners. No hits allowed so far by either of these left-handed pitchers. Manny Pena leads off.
These guys are almost a clone of each other tonight.
Is it kind of crazy, Rock? You go 474 games between left-handed starts for the Brewers, and then when you put a guy like Suter out there, it's a lefty versus lefty. Pena grounds out. There's the first out.
Hey, keep up with the crew wherever you are with MLB.com at bat, the official app of the Brewers, featuring live broadcasts, scoring updates, breaking news, and more. Download At Bat today, free for your smartphone or tablet.
Here's the Brewers shortstop, Orlando Arcia. He's had a tough road trip, 0 for 7 in Chicago and only 1 for his last 20 at the plate. He's had a couple of days off in between some of those starts. Trying to find his spot at the plate in the major leagues.
And they're making some adjustments on him, and you're going to have to give him a bit of a time to settle in offensively. Certainly he's been able to do the job out there at shortstop. But if they find that you have a weakness up there at the plate, in the major leagues, they're just going to pound you with it, and you're going to have to make some adjustments.
It gets exposed in a hurry at this level, doesn't it?
With all the information they have at hand, it doesn't take long for teams to figure out, how to throw you, how to pitch you, and he's going to have to just make that adjustment. It's constant adjustments up here in the major leagues.
And the count runs full on Arcia. Well, along the way, when you're a young player like that, you don't want to lose your confidence along the way. It's Darnell Coles, Jason Lane helping out the hitters.
I don't think that's an issue for Arcia. He's got a lot of confidence. Inner confidence, not so much outward. He's not cocky at all.
Fly ball, right field. Gutierrez coming a long way just in the foul territory and makes the play. 2 up, 2 down here in the third. Now Jake Elmore, the Brewers left fielder. So Ramon Flores was designated for assignment today by Milwaukee. That could open the door for a little more playing time for Elmore. But Domingo Santana is here, at least this weekend possibly, as the Brewers use the DH.
Right.
You throw the DH in the mix and there's only 3 guys left on the bench.
Santana's going to get plenty of time out there in right field. Ryan Braun out in left once the team leaves. Now Seattle. Only one more interleague play left, or interleague matchup left for the Brewers after this Mariners series. That's the Texas Rangers the last week of the season. Imagine Broxton and Kirk Neuenhuis, who's been swinging about well, is going to get a lot of time out in center field.
2-0 to Elmore. There's a strike, 2-1.
86 with a fastball for LeBlanc. It's kind of shades back in the old days of Scott McGregor against Tommy John. 2 guys that don't throw very hard. You don't see matchups like this in the major leagues too much. A lot of hard throwers in the big leagues these days. And what both of these guys want you to do is try and pull the baseball, which is, you know, a lot of the outs that LeBlanc has had already in this game have been just off the end of the bat. A couple of fly balls to left.
Big hack by Elmore, 3-2. Blanc has not faced Milwaukee since the 2012 season when he was with the Marlins. Elmore pops it up straight away center field. And Martin collects it. 9 up, 9 down for LeBlanc. Here comes Suter. The bottom of the third. Time now for our Car Soup trivia question. Who is the last left-handed pitcher to make his major league debut in a start for the Brewers? Well, it hasn't been over the last 3 years, that's for sure.
No.
Brent Suter's doing it tonight for Milwaukee.
And it wasn't Tom Gorzolani. We mentioned his name. It's almost 3 years to the day. It was mid-August. The latter part of August in 13 where Gorzolani made his start, left-hander.
Sean O'Malley, top of the order for the Mariners here in the third. 3 walks given up by Suter so far. No hits, nobody has scored yet in this game. And there have been a lot of foul balls that have been pulled.
Yeah.
So that goes to your
a lot of hitters out
theory.
in front,
yeah.
Right? Not waiting back. Playing right into the hands of both of these southpaws. Crafty lefties.
And this one punched to the right side and just fouled. It's interesting how you can get out in front of those pitches and then you can get fisted and barely make contact to the other side.
Oh, that's the idea. That's what they do. I mean, these lefties like that, and they're gonna pound you inside. A lot of times it's off the plate for effect. Then they want to get you out of the way. I mean, that's what those guys used to do back in the old days. We talk about Tommy John and Scott McGregor and Jimmy Key, guys like that. I mean, they will show you inside just to keep you honest.
And Suter, nice spin underhand move. Boy, he does everything fast, doesn't he?
Well, that was a pretty long underhand flip right there. That worked.
Eddie Cedar's
well
like,
done.
We don't teach it that way.
That's usually a nice, easy overhand throw over to first base. You see the rest of the starting rotation have a nice chuckle on a check swing. All right.
Well, a few smiles from that infield. You know what? When you get the job done, you can smile like that, right?
Yeah.
He's confident. And part of that confidence is his pace out on the mound. He's the first to admit he doesn't have that standout stuff. But it's the pace, and another ground out for Suter.
Yeah, you better be ready if you're an infielder with Suter out there on the mound. He's not going to mess around, and a lot of strikes. Fielders like that.
So now this is the second time through the order for the Mariners. You got to wonder what guys like Robinson Cano are thinking right now. Nelson Cruz on deck. Cano flew out to center his first time up. That was a long, loud out that Keon Broxton had to catch up to. Cano, a home run in last night's Seattle loss against Anaheim. Big hack. That one got Pena right in the face mask. There's that home run last night.
Yeah, center, and up in the zone, and drives it on out of here. This Mariners ball club is swinging the bats, hitting a lot of home runs, third in the American League. Good power. Their bullpen's been good. They've won 10 of 13.
And Cano strikes out. Suter continues to roll through the Mariners lineup through 3. No score here in Seattle. stretch of baseball. News and notes around the league. How about the Orioles tonight against Houston? 4 of the first 5 batters hit a home run. First time in Major League history. The Cubs put John Lackey and Hector Rondon on the 15-day disabled list. Very interesting there. A starter and a reliever. And Tyler Naquin here for the Cleveland Indians. Hit an inside the park home run in a walk-off win as the Tribe beat Toronto tonight.
Wow. So I think the Cubs are just setting themselves up for the stretch run and getting into September to make sure that a couple of their key pitchers are going to be ready for September and the postseason, right?
VR, the bunt, and the throw just in time by Kyle Seager. Once in a while, VR will lay down the bunt and try to get on and surprise the third baseman, but Seager was ready.
Yeah, not going to surprise him because he was playing in, expecting maybe defending against the bunt, but VR so confident in his speed that even with the third baseman expecting the bunt, he's figuring he's going to get a hit. He just bunted it a little bit too hard.
Yep, I think you're right.
And got him by a step.
So 1 down here in the Brewer 4th. Going to bring up Keon Broxton. Broxton will lay the bunt down and use his speed as well. Sure is something to watch him hold that bat so low near his waist before he cranks up.
He does lift it just a little bit before the pitch is on its way to home plate. Just his triggering mechanism. Holds those hands right at the top of the strike zone. Anything above the hands is a ball. But just using his hands a lot better these days, driving the ball to the opposite field.
This one fouled away, 2-1. Broxton on the opening day roster and then struggled right out of the gates at the plate. Couldn't get a hit, so he went back to Colorado Springs, up and down a little bit, but now establishing himself as a major league hitter.
Four's a charm, right?
Why not?
Just wasn't getting a lot of playing time early in the year.
Very tough for a youngster to make a big league roster with virtually no major league experience out of spring training and do it off the bench.
And then you go a certain stretch of time without getting hits, then it starts getting into your head. You go up to the plate, you see that 0-0-0 on the batting average. You start pressing, not a little bit, a lot, and that's what I think would happen to him. And
Broxton in the left, and there's the game's first base hit. Cut off by O'Malley. Broxton, big turn.
Nice play out there in left.
And a nice job defensively by Sean O'Malley in left.
Yeah, he was thinking about a double right out of the batter's box, but O'Malley doing a good job cutting it off before it got to the wall. There's that fastball that Broxton's able to just throw the hands at it and rip it down into left field. Look at O'Malley. That would have been an easy double had it got by him. Again, Broxton holds up at first base. It's a heck of a play out there.
The Brewers' first base runner, the Brewers' first hit in this game. Off of LeBlanc. Here's Ryan Braun. Designated hitter today, grounded out the third his first time up. 320, 22 home runs and 65 RBIs for Ryan Braun.
Had good numbers in his career against LeBlanc. 4 for 7 coming into tonight's game. Any other Brewer in the starting lineup that's ever faced him, Chris Carter.
Run on the season against left-handers, 375. He's always hit left-handers well, but that could be a single season high for him. Timeout called at the last moment.
And just holding the ball too long there, just trying to freeze Broxton over there at first base, knowing that he's a base stealer.
Broxton with 17 stolen bases. That's pretty good in limited time. And this is LeBlanc's first base runner that he's allowed. That immediately changes his pace. Inside.
Kean Broxton, a very smart base stealer. He's got 17 stolen bases, and he's only been caught once.
Well, between Broxton, Perez, and of course VR, who leads the Brewers in stolen bases, all three are different types of runners. I think VR may have snuck into a role that this organization wasn't totally familiar with, but you got to get on base first, and he's been able to do that. He's done a pretty good job, obviously, on the bases. Broxton's just a natural speedster, and Perez has really worked on it.
Yeah, Perez is the guy that surprised you with his speed. 22 stolen bases, been caught 4 times. Ryan Braun's got 13.
Pretty good numbers in his interleague career for Ryan Braun. And they'll check Broxton over at first.
Boy, doing a good job holding him close. Throwing over, not really a good move. He hadn't shown a good one yet. Holding the baseball, a lot of different ways you can hold runners. And he's fairly quick to home plate.
Popped up in the infield. Seager coming in and makes the catch. Runs into his first baseman over there. Romero flying in at the last moment.
Yeah, pitcher's got to be the traffic cop right there. He's got to call one of them off. See Seager calling it. You got Romero calling it. So somebody's got to, make the call, and Mariners able to, make the catch. All smiles, like you said, once you make the catch. If you drop it, there's nobody smiling.
Here's Perez. Flew out to left his first time up. Again, they'll take a look at Broxton. 2 down here in the Brewer 4th. Broxton singled to left. That's the first hit by Milwaukee off of LeBlanc. Nothing more, a constant reminder. I know you're over there. I know you're over there.
Well, now you just make a mistake to the hitter. Groove one to Perez. Worrying too much about the runner at first base.
We talked about Perez being a good base runner. He's also hitting the home run, and yesterday got one at Wrigley Field. Our Powerball home run total for Hernan Perez, number 11 on the season. Well, he just continues to roll, hitting the ball nicely, hitting for average, getting on base, stealing bases.
Yeah, won 2 home runs against Jake Arrieta. Neuenhuis had a 3-run homer.
And time called again at the last moment. Take a look at the National League home run leader since July 28th, and the Brewers tied with the Dodgers. Milwaukee going through that long stretch, 17 straight where they homered. Before that was ending just shy of a Brewer record, which was 20 straight back in the 2008 season. This Mariner team scores 51% of their runs via the home run. Pace of this one is completely changed with one single by Keon Broxton.
Right. Well, very deliberate, trying to keep an eye on the base runner, and it's slowed down a lot.
Perez shoots one to the right side into the seats. Count even at 2-2. Another long look at Keon Broxton. Perez hits one to left. O'Malley going back to the wall, leaps and makes the catch. Another hard hit ball to left field, and O'Malley playing his position very well so far tonight for the final out here in the 4th inning. Perez gave it a ride. Not quite a home run, but would have been extra bases. Mountains over Puget Sound here in Seattle. No scores. We move to the bottom of the 4th inning.
That's impressive. You knew all that?
Sure.
The Olympic Mountains.
I knew everything, right?
Oh, that's a nice scene right there.
It is a nice scene, isn't it?
It makes you want to paint, doesn't it?
I've never thought about that, but I'm going to get my paint brushes and paint set that I brought, my art easel.
Get your oils out there.
I could do that. Cruz on the second pitch here in the 4th inning flies out to Broxton for the first out. I would imagine there's an artist or two out there we'll see this weekend. It was crowded here in Seattle in the downtown area.
Isn't it always?
Pike Place Market.
Weather's always nice here, isn't it? It's not raining. Doesn't get real cold here.
A lot of Brewer fans in the area as well.
Yeah.
Sponsors are out here, right?
Weekend, yeah. Brewers have a lot of their sponsors, about 60 strong out here in Seattle. They were out here the last time the Brewers were in town, 3 years ago. Good spot to bring them. Show thanks. Sponsors who make Brewers baseball possible.
Seager to right and deep and gone.
Sponsors didn't like to see that. They just golfed that one out of here. Seager.
That is home run number 23 for the Mariners third baseman, and the first hit in the majors given up by Brent Suter.
All right, check it out. I mean, Down in the strike zone, and he just gives it a ride. That's a nice level swing, lefty versus lefty. Knocks it out of here by plenty out there in right field. Suter did a good job in the minor leagues this year keeping the baseball in the park. Only 5 allowed. 26 games, 15 starts. A little different animal up here in the majors. I mean, everybody's a home run threat up here.
They've got Cano, Cruz, and Seager 1, 2, 3 in that order, and Seager's the one who had it. Arcia fumbles the ball and can't recover in time, so Romero reaches. And that is an error on Arcia.
Yeah, that routine ground ball just rolled right up his glove. About as routine as it gets. Unusual to see him do that right off the heel of the glove, and a little bit too late. Second error of the day for Milwaukee.
Suter had the first error in the first inning. Here's Iannetta, 1 down, a run in for the Mariners, and a runner over at first base. Fourth big league inning for Suter. He's only had 1 clean inning so far. That was the 3rd. And it ended on his first big league strikeout to Robinson Cano. And now Seager and the Mariners have struck here in the 4th. And the Mariners use that home run to their advantage. As we mentioned, 51% of their scoring is via the home run. It's second only to the New York Mets. This one hit long and hard down the left field line and pulled foul. And Iannetta broke his bat, so he'll get some new lumber.
Yeah, a lot of teams rely on the home run ball these days, right? I mean, Brewers do. They say the American League is a home run hitting league. A lot of offense because of that designated hitter.
Nelson Cruz makes a living as the DH for the most part. About 75% of the time he's the Mariners DH. This one a check swing. Pena throws to first for the out. MLS Soccer Sunday, sponsored by Audi, returns this weekend with a red-hot Western Conference rival. Don't miss as Clint Dempsey and the Sounders collide with Diego Valero in the Portland Timbers this Sunday at 8:30 Central on FS1, or watch it live on Fox Sports Go. All right, 2 down for Martin. This one into center, base hit, and they'll hold the runner at third, and Martin will take second base on the throw home.
They don't hit the cutoff man. That's what happens. It didn't look like they were going to send Romero anyway. Kean Broxton airmails the cutoff man Carter, and because of that, Martin able to get into second base. Left the pitch up out over the plate, dumps it into center. Romero doesn't run all that well. He reached on an error. You hit the cutoff man, you keep that hitter at first. And now he's in scoring position.
Here's Marte.
Just a different game with the designated hitter. This would normally be where the pitcher comes up, and much easier to get yourself out of a jam like this with the number 9 hitter. Normally the pitcher in the National League, at least early in the game. You don't have to worry about the pinch hitter, but they got a position player now.
And Marte, 257 in the number 9 spot. Pena gave Suter a look, keep it down. 2 balls, 1 strike. Interesting, Rock, with his pace out on the mound, when he's able to actually catch his breath. I mean, this is a tough inning so far. He's given up a home run, second and third, 2 outs in a 1-0 game.
That's just the way he does it. He's always done it that way. He likes that quick pace. That's his comfort level. But you're right, it may take a little bit out of you.
This one slapped to left, just foul. A lot of pitches pulled foul.
He's throwing a good cutter coming in on right-handed hitters, and really haven't made all that much solid contact off that pitch, the right-handers.
Little tapper. Suter. And he drops the ball trying to tag the runner to Pena at the plate, and they got him. What a way to end the inning.
Wow.
Suter had it for a moment and then lost the ball trying to tag the runner coming in, and gathered himself and threw it to Pena for the out.
That's an easy put out.
Not your conventional way to get your third out in the infield, but Romero kind of ran into this play, Rock.
Yeah, again, a little squibbler, and you can see Suter able to make the play, but drops the baseball in the tag. And Scott Service was taking a look at this play. He decided not to go to review. It's not interference here. I mean, this is just incidental contact on a guy trying to make a play, maybe thinking that the catcher Pena blocking off home plate, but I can't imagine that would have been called. He was so far away. So, and no review, out stands, and kind of an unusual way to end an inning.
There's Brent Suter, who's making his major league debut tonight for Milwaukee. Served up a solo home run to Kyle Seager. That's been the only damage given up by either pitcher as LeBlanc goes back to work.
You can see it's a little warm out there in the field. Unseasonably warm here in the Northwest.
Game time temperature was 89 degrees here at 7 p.m. Pacific time in the Northwest. Here's Chris Carter. One swing of the bat could tie this game up. Carter leads the Brewers in home runs with 27. Third in the league with 27 home runs. Take a look at our Powerball home run leaderboard for Milwaukee. There's Carter at the top of the group. Ryan Braun just behind with 22. This one hit a long ways down the line, and it hooks foul. He was thinking about it.
He had one to hit just a little bit out in front of it, and you see a lot of the Brewer hitters have done that so far tonight. It's not able to wait back long enough to keep those pitches fair. You wait back a little bit longer, and Perez in particular have a couple of home runs.
This one hit a long way center field and way back and gone for Chris Carter. His 28th round tripper, a no-doubter to straightaway center field. Wow, what a shot by Carter.
You think he waited back long enough that time?
Yes, indeed.
Oh my, I mean, that went about 3/4 of the way up the batter's eye out there in center field. And Chris Carter ties it up that quickly. There's that cut fastball that stayed right down the middle of the plate, and see you later. Watch where this one lands. High up off that batter's eye. My goodness.
Santana base hit to left field on the very next pitch. And the Brewers hitting LeBlanc here to open up the 5th inning. A home run and a base hit. And Cruz and Carter at the top of that list. At bats per home run against left-handed pitching. And Carter hits the home run tonight.
Second time through, the Brewers have had much better swings off LeBlanc, and that is a big fly right there, way up on that batter's eye out in center.
Has he hit a cheapie out of any of the 28 in a Brewer uniform?
No, I don't think so. And even when he doesn't get all of one, I mean, he hits them a long way. He's strong. He's got to make better contact. I mean, on a consistent basis. No telling how many home runs he could hit.
Manny Pena down a strike to LeBlanc. Santana at first. Inside 1-1. It's good to see Domingo Santana get a base hit here in his first game back off the disabled list. Said he was hitting the ball very well during his rehab stint. Of course, the elbow was the big issue, and he had to make a couple of big plays at Colorado Springs in that outfield, and did so.
I remember when he came back for a very short period of time, he was throwing the ball well. And he made a good throw out in right field, got a base runner in one of the few games that he was able to play when he came off the disabled list the first time.
And that was for the shoulder the first time.
And then he had to go back on with the elbow, and that has really caused him to miss a ton of games this year. 80 games almost. And that's a big bat to be without.
Pena swings and misses, strikes out. That's the first out here in the 5th.
Hey, use your fresh perks card at Pick and Save between now and August 25th, and you get a free Brewers ticket for every $50 you spend. Learn more, visit pickandsave.com/Brewers.
Here's Arcia. Runner goes to second, and he's out. Domingo Santana trying to sneak his way into second base, and a collision out there with Marte, the shortstop. I should say that's Cano out there actually, who's slow to get up.
Kind of a crazy play all around. Kind of a late slide by Domingo Santana. Check this out. And you can see Cano reaching around, kind of reversed pivot, and watch him tag the foot that's up in the air for Santana, and gets him right there. Got the tag on him, and he's out. That's a good call at second base.
Looks like their knees collided.
That was a nice play out there by Cano. That was a tough play.
Arcia to center, a base hit. Well, the Brewers now with their third hit this inning off LeBlanc, their first 3 hits of the game.
Yeah, LeBlanc able to retire the side in order each of the first 3 innings, and since that time 4 hits for the Brewers, including a homer. That pitch out away from Arcia, waiting back just long enough, got it off the end and dumps it into center. The Brewers are starting to get better at bats, waiting back much better against Wade LeBlanc.
Here's Jake Elmore. 2 down and a runner at first. Brewers tied the game with a Carter home run to start the inning. Elmore flew out to center back in the third, his first trip up. In the number 9 spot here for Milwaukee against Seattle. He's in left. Ryan Braun, the DH in tonight's game. I'll check Arcia over there at first.
Another guy that might steal the base for you. Good time to do it.
He's got a couple unlimited opportunities.
2 outs and man at first. Try and get yourself in a scoring position. The Brewers are having a difficult time getting a jump.
Elmore, slow roller to short, flip to second for the force. And the Brewers do tie the game. Chris Carter, a big time blast. Number 28 on the season, and it's 1-1 here in the 5th. Debut. There's Mike in the Brewer hat, and to your left on the screen is Shirley, his mom. That's Brent Suter's parents, making his major league debut on the mound for Milwaukee tonight. And they look a little bit nervous.
Oh, you think?
Their son, though, is doing a great job out there, entering inning number 5. Has only given up a solo home run for run damage anyway, and survived a few scares along the way, so he's been tested right out of the gates.
Yeah, they've all been waiting a lifetime for this opportunity, and here it is, and he's pitching well.
Here's O'Malley to lead off the 5th inning for Seattle. Brent's parents are quite the athletes. And this one mishandled. It's going to be a bunt base hit to start out the inning for O'Malley.
Yeah, tough play for VR. I mean, he had to tried to get it with a bare hand and just not able to get a handle on it. Had some spin on it, and that'll be a base hit for O'Malley.
Brent's dad won a football national championship at Moeller High School in Cincinnati in 1975 and was also a member of Penn State's 1982 national championship team. He was a safety there, and Shirley, his mom, won a state swimming championship in high school, and she was a 4-year letter winner at Penn State as well. So very athletic family. They go to Penn State. They're big time athletes there, and their son Brent went to Harvard. And again was drafted in the 31st round by the Brewers.
You think they're having fun? They're enjoying that? I don't think so. They are just wearing it every pitch. You can't blame them, right?
Well, I'd be just the same way.
Right. I mean, it's a helpless feeling out there in the stands when you see your flesh and blood out there competing.
Well, and I think obviously when you're on the mound, it's even more so. I mean, when your son's on the mound doing this.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Versus your son being a third or second at this point, you know, Rob? I mean, it's his game right now.
Yeah, it is. I mean, he's the spotlight's on him, and he's handled it pretty well so far. Pitch count at 72 as he works here in the 5th. And Craig Counsell needs a decent start tonight with some of the starts the Brewers had in Chicago didn't go very well, and the bullpen has been used quite a bit. Don't have to worry about taking him out for offense because you've got the DH. It's one advantage the Brewers have in that regard tonight. They can keep him out there as long as he's pitching well. Don't have to worry about trying to score.
Big cut and a miss by Gutierrez. Suter ahead 2 strikes to the Mariners right fielder. Gutierrez was the first base runner to reach against Suter in his big league career. He walked.
And the other thing that Suter does very well, hold runners. He's got a terrific pickoff move to first base. We saw him do it, in the first inning. He threw it away, but still has a good move.
And he strikes out Gutierrez for the first out here in the 5th inning.
Got him to chase one up in the zone, and Gutierrez looking at the bat saying, how did I miss that? You're talking about an 85-mile-an-hour pitch that got by him.
For Suter's pitches, 75-49 for strikes. Gotta like that percentage. Now the big guns are set to come up. One down for Cano. Suter struck out Cano back in the 3rd. That was his first big league strikeout. And a quick throw over to first. Trying to catch O'Malley off guard.
Yeah, step off and throw, and he's also got a good kind of a semi little balk move where he kind of works in that gray area where you step toward first base or home plate.
Foul and out of play. Mentioned that Suter was drafted from Harvard. Of course, Brewers general manager David Stearns went to Harvard as well. Suter's degree in environmental science and public policy.
Prerequisite to be a major league pitcher.
Perfect. That's the perfect pitch. This one hit way back right field and out of the ballpark. Robinson Cano with his 28th home run, and that puts the Mariners up 3-1. Second home run given up by Suter in his big league debut.
Yeah, we came on the air on the pregame show talking about the three guys you got to be careful with in this lineup as far as the home runs go. Seager's hit one, Cano now, and Nelson Cruz the other. Fastball in, and Cano waiting for it, hit it hard, and lined it out of here. Almost hit a home run his first time up. A line drive out of here to right.
Suter blows off a little steam and now faces Nelson Cruz. He's behind 2-0.
Yeah, two things he didn't do much of in the minor leagues. That's walk batters. He's got 3, and give up home runs. He's given up 2.
Cruz bloops one in the right field. This will fall for a base hit. Three hits given up in the inning.
Yeah, good pitch. He ate him up inside, but Cruz very strong, able to muscle it into right field. Broke his bat, but it's a base hit in front of Santana.
Here comes pitching coach Derek Johnson. Takes a slow walk out there. Wants to give Suter a break.
I can't do much about that base hit. I mean, it was a good pitch. O'Malley started the inning out with a bunt base hit. Down the third baseline, but Cano certainly put a charge into the home run that he hit.
There's pitch count by inning. That first inning he labored a little bit. Got control for the most part after that. 81 right now here in the 5th with 1 down. And a runner over at first. 2 runs are in here so far for the Mariners as they break that tie. And this one gets past Pena, so Cruz will move on up to second base.
Yeah, right through the legs of Manny Pena. Should have had it. Should have been able to block it. Squirted it right through him.
So a runner in scoring position now for Seager. Hit his 23rd home run back in the 4th inning. There's a strike to Seager. .80 RBIs to lead this club this year. Stopped by Pena this time. There's Chase Anderson. Looks like he's starting to loosen up. Craig Counsell said he'd be available to come out of the bullpen this weekend.
Yeah, he was very lucky on that line drive in Chicago that didn't do more damage, just a bruise.
Look out over there. This is what happened to Chase Anderson on Tuesday back in Chicago. 11 pitches, and this one a liner just above the left knee.
Yeah, got very lucky. If it was a little bit lower, got all bone on the inside of that knee, it would have been much worse.
It was enough to knock him out, but he recovered quickly. Pena, quick throw. And the runner Cruz gets back.
Yeah, that's the reason why you see Brent Suter tonight, because of the doubleheader. You had Garza, you had
Chase Anderson
thrown in that doubleheader, and the Brewers needed a pitcher for tonight. But because he only lasted 2/3 of an inning, Anderson is available out of the pen.
This one stopped out there at second base, going to save a run by Arcia. Looks like that one either skimmed off the mound or Suter, couldn't quite tell. But a hard hit ball by Seager, and he is safe on the infield hit.
those left-handers hanging right in there against Suter here tonight, and he played by Archie to keep it in the infield to keep a run from scoring.
So Suter in trouble here. Still only one down. 2 runs are in. Runners at first and third. Here's Romero. He's walked and reached on an error, so he's been on twice in this game. Suter could use a double play right here.
He's got to get the baseball down. There's Mourinez in the pen.
And this one falls for a base hit. Broxton picks it up, throws to second base. Everybody's safe, and a run comes home. It is now 4-1 Seattle.
Third time through the batting order has proven difficult for Suter tonight. It's 5 hits in the inning. He's only retired 1. That was a strikeout to Gutierrez. And another run in. These guys make adjustments quickly, these big league hitters. Might be able to get him a couple of times, but got to keep mixing it up, change the pattern a little bit. And I think one more base run, you're going to see Mourinez in the game.
Looks like he is just about ready. Remember, looked like he was saying maybe 3 more tosses here, and we'll see if Craig Counsell is going to make the move when he's popping out of the dugout now. Yeah. So this is going to be it here for Suter in his big league debut. It's going to end in the middle of the 5th inning.
And nothing really hit all that hard except for that home run, right? And a couple of jam shots. I mean, that ball up the middle by Seager was hit pretty well, but for the most part made some pretty good pitches. But the third time through the batting order has proven to be very difficult for him.
So Counsell having a little conversation out there, pumping him up. Suter coming into a difficult area. His parents, Mike and Shirley, watching from the stands as well. Nice ovation for the youngster. Pitching change here in the 5th. Suter making his big league debut here tonight. It ends in the middle of the 5th inning. Here's his pitching line so far, giving up 4 earned runs, and he's responsible for 2 on base yet. 89 was his pitch count, and Suter working a quick pace, high energy pitcher out there.
Yeah, I mean, he started out really well, and I think, you know, the fact that the Mariners have never seen him before certainly helped him out. But, you know, as the game went on, the Mariners started getting some Better swings. He's had some unique defensive plays. There's the one that ended the 4th inning. But for the most part, I think that got to be happy at least the way things started out. But a very rough 5th inning. Mariners made some adjustments on him and able to put up a 4 spot.
Juan Marinez comes in relief and faces Chris Iannetta. 1 down here in the 5th inning. 2 aboard. 28th appearance for Marinez out of the bullpen.
Yeah, Les pitched in game 2 of the doubleheader on Tuesday against the Cubs. Took a loss in that game. Gave up a run in 2 2/3 innings.
High fly ball left field. Broxton calling for it on the warning track. Makes the catch. Another long loud out by a Mariner batter. This time Iannetta.
See that fastball leaking in the inner half of the plate. Iannetta knew he didn't get it, although he got it to the warning track. Marinez pitched well in game 2 of that doubleheader. 2 2/3, gave up a run, although he did suffer the loss.
We came in emergency duties when Anderson went out.
Right.
That was a stunner. You normally see the starting pitcher go out that quickly in the 1st inning, but Anderson got hurt, couldn't continue. Here's Martin. Three runs are in here in the Mariner half of inning number 5 as they grab the 4-1 lead. Still have 2 runners on board. And this one softly hit to Arcia for the final out. So we go to the 6th. Brewers got some work to do now against LeBlanc. Of their game day program for the September 20th through 22nd series against the Pirates. Go to brewers.com/call to the pen to download the template and have your child draw his or her masterpiece. Season winding down. Homestand numbers are starting to wind down. Brewers come back on Monday after this weekend trip here in Seattle. We start the 6th inning now. Jonathan Villar leads off for Milwaukee. It's this one hard to left field all the way back and gone for Villar. There's another home run. Brewers' 2nd home run off LeBlanc.
Yeah, Mariners not the only team in the game tonight that rely heavily on the home run ball. There's Carter and now Villar. Villar able to wait back just long enough to knock it out of here. The Brewers have been getting better swings against LeBlanc, and that one outer half, and VR knew it as soon as he hit it. Way back, second deck out there and left.
Home run number 10 for VR. That gets Milwaukee within 4-2. Mel Stottlemyre coming out to have a quick chat with LeBlanc. Brewers getting all their hits and runs over the last couple of innings here against LeBlanc.
And the former National Juice Storen getting loose in the pen.
Here's Keon Broxton. He singled back in the 4th inning. He had the first hit of the game off LeBlanc. Broxton to left, hits it hard down the line, gone for Broxton. A line drive home run, pulled right down the left field line. And Milwaukee within 4-3 on Broxton's 4th home run of the year.
How about those Rockets right there, back to back? Keon Broxton, I mean, he is swinging a nice bat as of late. Check this out.
Hey, back to back.
Yeah, miss your spot. That's what happens. I mean, the big fella able to buggy whip that fastball out of here. A line drive, matter whether it was going to be high enough, and just barely able to sneak over that wall. Hit even harder than one VR hit.
VR, Broxton, here's Ryan Braun. That ignites that Brewer dugout.
6 hits for the Brewers and 3 of them homers.
5 home runs between these two clubs so far here tonight. We're only halfway through.
Boy, the kid looks good at the plate, doesn't he? Keon Broxton.
Boy, what a difference.
Yeah, no kidding.
Big smile on his face. He's a confident young man, but boy, he works hard. He knows he's very talented, can really help this ball club out. You really got to give him a lot of credit for everything he's gone through.
And a good young man, too. We were at the batting cage before the game today, and I had a baseball just flipping it up in my hand, and he said, "You need that ball?" I said, "No." So he rolled it to this kid. He had to be like 2 years old, had a glove, had a Brewer jersey on, and kind of rolled the ball over there and made the kid's day.
Absolutely.
Right?
Be his favorite player from now on.
Aware of his surroundings, Keon Broxton understands what it's like to be a major leaguer.
Fights one off. Braun had a tough series in Chicago. Had the injury, tried to come back from that injury within a day or two. This one just foul again. Look at that hit speed for Keon Broxton, more than 111 miles off the bat.
Guys are strong, aren't they?
That was a bullet, a laser down the line. Full count now to Ryan Braun. This time Ryan Braun strikes out. First out of the inning after back-to-back home runs.
Yeah, so many off-speed pitches. Every now and again he's going to give you a fastball, though there's not much on it. And that one right on the outside corner. He goes down swinging.
And now Scott Service out to the mound, and he will take LeBlanc out. And a pitching change here in Seattle, a 1-run deficit for Milwaukee. Back here in Seattle, a pitching change as Milwaukee's gotten within 4-3. One out here in the 6th inning as Drew Storen now comes in for the Mariners.
And a 48th appearance for Storen, a .586 earned run average. Very unusual for Storen. He pitched a couple of days ago. Got a win his last time out. That was against the Angels. But look at that earned run average for Drew Storen, the former closer for the Washington Nationals. Earned run average near 6.
He faces Hernan Perez right out of the gates. Perez has hit the ball hard to left for 2 outs so far in this game. Brewers with back-to-back home runs to open up the 6th inning. One by VR, the next one by Broxton. And Braun struck out. Pitching change. Here's Perez.
And Perez has hit the ball in the nose both his times up. Both deep fly balls to left.
This one hit hard into left field, a base hit. Perez continues to impress. Good at bats.
Stays right on it. And hit the fastball, hit it hard out of the reach of Marte. It's short into left field. Staying right on. That was a good pitch to hit down the middle, up in the zone, and he squared it up. Hit it hard. Look at the balance. Just lifts the leg up, sets it down, and on time, on balance, and a nice easy swing.
1 on, 1 out for Chris Carter. He got the Brewers on the board first with a solo home run in the 5th inning. Inside of the Brewer first baseman. Wendy's at the plate for Chris Carter. 1 for 2 so far. That solo home run. It was his 28th home run on the season to increase his Brewer lead. Perez bluffs a move. Iannetta checks him. And here's a look at Carter. This is beyond a no-doubter, folks. Straightaway center. Look where this one hits. My goodness.
Yeah. Well, tied it up at the time, but the Mariners able to put a 3-spot on the Brewers in the bottom of the inning.
Such an effortless swing from Chris Carter. That's what has to impress you the most. And Chris Carter, that hit speed, that home run, nearly 107 miles per hour. It's fun to track those off the bat now, isn't it?
Yeah, no kidding.
Exit velocity.
Yep.
Storen's pitch. Fouled out of play.
Tells a lot about hitters. It tells a lot about pitchers when you have a pitcher out there that, exit velocities are down. That means he's got good stuff. He's got good location, movement. It speaks a lot to effectiveness, not just hits and runs. You take the exit velocities for most of the hits against Suter tonight. Not that great. A lot of jam shots.
Perez goes. Throw is not in time as Perez steals the base. He's in scoring position now with 1 down. And Carter still batting.
Much easier to get a jump on the right-hander than it was against LeBlanc. Good throw by Iannetta, but just a little bit too late. Another part of Perez's game that's been very impressive. 23 stolen bases.
Storen takes a look and pitches to Carter. Now full 3-2.
Yeah, velocity way down, for Drew Storen. He used to be upper 90s with a fastball. He's at 92 right now, 92, 93. Slider very inconsistent.
First round pick back in 2009. by the Nationals. And this time, Carter strikes out.
A good slider off the outside corner. Had Carter chasing one out of the strike zone.
Storing one of 3 pickups through the end of July and early August. And added to this bullpen by the Mariners. Tom Wilhelmsen was the other, and Archimedes Caminero. Wilhelmsen came from the Rangers, Caminero the Pirates, and Storing the Blue Jays.
And that bullpen has been one of the reasons why the Mariners feel as though they're right back in the race. Bullpen numbers very good for them since the beginning of August. .242, one of the best in all the American League. They've had a big impact.
This team also traded away Mike Montgomery to the Cubs out of their bullpen. Quick throw, and Perez is back. Interesting shuffling by this team as they went through a period of time where it didn't look real hopeful that they were going to be able to stay not only in the division race but the wild card chase, and they put things together over the last 3 weeks or so, and they're 3 behind in the wild card chase entering today. It looks like the Rangers are in position to win the West.
A lot of baseball to be played, though.
Look at the wild card, the pace set there by Boston and Baltimore right now.
A lot can happen in 6 weeks.
If the Mariners win tonight, they'll be 2 behind. It is interesting what's happened over the last few weeks in the National League West. Just looking at the Giants losing their lead and the Dodgers overtaking them. Giants have to be baseball's biggest disappointment post All-Star break.
No kidding. They've only won 4 of 10.
Just missing on the outside corner to Santana to run it full.
Didn't miss by much. There you see it, number 5, just off that outside corner.
Trying to hold Perez tight out at second base. Santana fights off the 3-2 pitch. Santana activated off the disabled list today. Ramon Flores designated for assignment.
And that made room for Suter to be placed on the 40-man.
Inside to Santana, good at bat, draws the walk. Two aboard, 2 down now for Manny Pena, the Brewer catcher tonight.
The Brewers have been able to get to him. You can see those numbers. Earned run average over 7.5 in his 16th game here tonight. This guy used to have electric stuff. 97, 98 with a fastball, a nasty slider. Much different now. Look at that slider just spinning up there.
Brewers down a run. They've scored 2 here in this inning, both on solo home runs. That came off LeBlanc, Storing in relief. Misses high again, 2-0. Pena 0 for 2 in this game. Struck out his last time up in the 5th.
I gotta believe he's going to get a fastball here. A 2-0 count. And this with 2 sliders.
Misses again. 3-0. Pena hit his first major league home run a week ago today against Cincinnati. It was a pinch hit 3-run pop. Hit hard center field. Martin going back to the warning track, makes the catch. A long loud out for Pena. The Brewers do get 2 home runs earlier in the inning. It's Jonathan Villar, a leadoff pop. Next batter, Keon Broxton, a liner. And the Brewers are within 4-3. UFC 202 begins on FS1. Explosive, undefeated, and going for 10 straight wins. Cody Garbrandt faces veteran striker Takaya Mizugaki. Plus, Pennington battles Phillips. UFC 202 prelims Saturday at 6 on FS1, or watch it live on Fox Sports Go.
That's pretty good. Did you read that? Did you look at that before you actually had to read that?
No, I just read them on the fly.
That's impressive. I don't know if you pronounced it right, but it sounded good.
I have a hard time with Jones, but I can get the other ones pretty good.
Well done, buddy.
Oh, here's Mariñez. He came in relief in the 5th inning for Suter and held Seattle in check. So he gets the 6th inning. Marte to lead off. Boy, there's been some well-struck balls here tonight. 5 home runs between these two teams. 3 solo shots by Milwaukee. And some long outs to the warning track.
Yeah, there have been a lot of long, deep fly balls tonight. I would imagine the weather has a lot to do with the way the ball's carrying tonight, as Tyler Cravy's starting to get loose. Not a lot of wind, none to speak of right now. Nice and warm. The ball carries well in this kind of weather. Humidity very low.
Record heat today and record heat tomorrow. Arcia, high throw, and that pulls Carter off the bag, and Marte is safe.
Another error for the Brewers. That's number 3. And second on Arcia tonight. Well, those leadoff base runners, they come back to bite you, especially when you allow a base run on a throwing error. High throw to Carter, just not able to get his foot back on the bag in time. Error number 3, and second on Arcia. Unusual for him.
And a leadoff base runner aboard in Marte. That brings up Sean O'Malley, top of the order now for the Mariners. He singled and scored back in the 5th inning. He reached on a bunt last time up, and this time he swings away. Foul territory. And a nice play there, getting to the ball by Elmore for the first out. Well, earlier in the game, we asked you our car soup trivia question. Who is the last left-handed pitcher to make his major league debut and a start for the Brewers? And it was Jorge De La Rosa.
He's really been a very solid starting pitcher for the Colorado Rockies of all teams. Certainly not the greatest place to pitch, but you can see the record overall for Jorge De La Rosa. He was really young when he was with the Brewers.
That was back in 2004.
Right, he was young and he was kind of raw, but had a lot of ability.
And Craig Counsell is out to make a pitching change. Tyler Cravey was warming up for Milwaukee, and it looks like he is set to come in to face Franklin Gutierrez. And we will take a break. Marinas goes out. Get things square for you, and we come back to Seattle. Change for the Brewers. A lot of people using those fans here. 82 degrees still here at 9:15 local time. Tyler Cravey on in relief for Milwaukee, and Rock, he was brought on as the 26th player on that doubleheader Tuesday in Chicago and stayed with the team.
Yeah, he stayed, and Andy Wilkins was sent down to the minor leagues, but Cravey pitched on Wednesday against the Cubs. Tossed a scoreless inning, gave up a hit and a walk. Is unscored upon in his 2 appearances since coming back from AAA.
There's Nori Aoki pinch hitting for the Mariners, the former Milwaukee Brewer. Key situation here in a pinch hit at bat. His team up by a run. 1 down in the 6th inning. Nori on the season, 262 with a home run and 14 RBIs. Played with Milwaukee back in 2012 and 2013. Close play over there at first base as Marte just gets back.
And Nori having a decent season with Seattle. 262 batting average. Never has been a big home run threat, although he will turn on one from time to time. He's got one this year.
Oakland has spent some time at AAA for the Mariners. 36 years old. Bunt laid down. Villar to first for the out as he moves the runner up to second base.
Yeah, he was bunting for a base hit. That wasn't a sacrifice. I can't imagine why they'd sacrifice in that situation. Norrie gave that away a little bit early. Bunted a little bit too hard, and Villar able to make the play this time. Tried a bare hand pickup on a bunt by O'Malley in the 5th. Wasn't able to make the play, but that one much easier. They give him a sacrifice?
They did give him a sacrifice bunt. Very interesting. And they're going to walk Cano with first base open. Pick your poison, right? Cano, Cruz, Seager.
Well, they're going with the percentages, right?
Yep.
Right-hander versus right-hander with Nelson Cruz on deck. Not ideal any way you slice it.
Well, out of the trio of home run hitters, Cano, Cruz, and Seager, Cruz is the only one that has not hit a home run yet. 82 home runs this season between those trio of hitters who bat 3rd, 4th, and 5th in the Mariners lineup for Scott Service. If you're a first-year manager, that's not a bad 3, 4, 5 punch, is it?
No.
All those home runs and RBIs.
No. Well, and Derek Johnson wants to go out and have a chat with Cravey just to go over the scouting report. New pitcher. First time he's faced Cruz in this situation here tonight, so we'll make sure they have a scouting report on him. I guess the scouting report is simple. Keep it down in the zone. Don't leave anything upstairs.
It seems like with the 5 total home runs we've seen here today, everything's been left up a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's reached out and had to grab one. A lot of mistake pitches.
Those are the ones that usually end up in the seats, right?
Gravy to Cruz. First pitch in a strike. Cruz's numbers, lefties versus righties, not a whole lot different.
Yeah, look at the home runs. I mean, much fewer at bats against lefties, but the home run power pretty good.
This one skips. Good stop by Pena. 1-1.
Gonna miss down. Gotta block it. You don't want to feel like you have to leave a breaking pitch up in the zone.
This one fouled off. A ball and 2 strikes now to Nelson Cruz.
Pretty good heater right there. 94 for Cravey. Got ahead of him on a fastball away. Busted him inside that time.
One, 2 misses inside. 2-2. Nelson Cruz, the one-time Brewer way back in 2005. He was traded in that Carlos Lee deal to Texas. This one to left, base hit. No. Is it a catch? No, he drops the ball. Jake Elmore, I thought that ball bounced in front. Looked like he had it for a moment, and it came out. And so everybody's safe and a run is home.
That ball was hit pretty hard. It just kept carrying. Elmore got to it. It was in the glove. He's rolling around and dropped it. Not a catch. And a run in. This ball was smoked. Elmore gets a decent jump on it, playing very deep. You can see he has it and then knocks it out of his glove with his chest. Yeah, the disadvantage of playing so deep, coming in, little inexperience in the outfield, not able to hold on to it. Base hit, RBI for Nelson Cruz.
His fourth big league start in left for Milwaukee this season is tonight. He's been all over the outfield, plus second and third base in limited action for Milwaukee.
Yeah, so the error to lead off the inning comes around to score. Can't do that.
5-3 game now. Mariners extend their lead. Here's Kyle Seager, first and third.
Well, the last 3 innings had a lot of traffic on the bases for Seattle.
They've scored a run in the 4th, 3 in the 5th, a run here in the 6th. Gravy trying to shut him down here with 2 down. 3-0 though the count to Kyle Seager.
8 hits in the last 3 innings.
And he misses on 4 pitches. And that will load him up for Romero. The light hitting Stephan Romero came in at 200. I should say now it's going to be Adam Lind. Lind will pinch hit, the second pinch hitter here in the inning, used by Scott Service.
Yeah, lefty out now, Suter out, and now Scott Service bringing his left-handed hitters in the game.
Another former Brewer and Adam Lind had a good first couple of months of run production for the Mariners, and then things started tailing off. He went from often used at first in DH to now seldom used, more in the pinch hitting mode right now. Good numbers with the bases loaded. In fact, this year he has 6 home runs. 6 3-run home runs this year. That's a lot of production.
No kidding. Hitting them when they mean something. And always was a good hitter as a Milwaukee Brewer.
Played with the Brewers a year ago. 20 home runs, 87 RBIs. Hit pretty well at 277. Big swing and a miss there by Lind.
Yep, out of the zone. Just at the top of the strike zone, maybe. Yep, right at the top of the zone.
Brewers traded away Lind for 3 minor league pitchers. It's called strike 3, and the inning ends. Gravy gives up 1, but the Mariners strand the bases loaded. 5-3 Seattle. Brewers as we go to the top of the 7th inning, and there's some history here for one of our broadcasters in Seattle. Let's flashback. Rock.
Hey.
With the Angels at the Kingdome.
See you later.
There you go, Rock. You remember each home run, don't you?
I hit 2 that day, I believe.
See, I knew you would.
Yeah, see?
Here's the other one.
Bingo.
Well done.
Right field. Swung late a couple of times.
Well done, number 23.
Yeah.
Good job.
Nice. Those were the days.
Kingdome located right there.
I liked hitting
right?
in that ballpark.
Got
I did.
The football field over there.
Yeah.
So now all indoors, of course. Here it rained a lot, but there was no retractable roof days back then. It was a closed. What was that ballpark like?
A little dark.
A little dark.
Remember Richie Zisk?
Yes.
He used to say that, you know, to get ready for a series in Seattle, he was a Seattle Mariner. He used to walk around his house in the dark.
Just to get ready to play.
Just to get ready, because it was kind of dark in there. It was kind of dark in there. He really did say that.
Arcia, first pitch. Caminero in relief now for the Mariners.
Of course, he might have been able to see pretty well, but he had bruises all over himself.
Because it was so dark.
Bumping into couches and coffee tables. But he could see. As Archimedes Caminero takes over, the former Pittsburgh Pirate, hard thrower. 47 appearances this year and a .331 earned run average. I doubt he walks around in his house in the dark.
I don't think you have to do that anymore.
To get ready to pitch at Safeco.
There's Scooter Gennett now for Milwaukee, making his first appearance tonight.
Noriaoki remains in the game in left field. Sean O'Malley moves to right.
Scooter 268 on the season, and Adam Lind over at first base. So 3 defensive replacements for the Mariners here in the top of the 7th inning. Scooter takes another strike, 2-1.
You know, I remember going back to the hotel after that game. I was pretty proud of myself watching the highlight shows. And when they got to the Angels-Mariners game, they said light hitting catcher Bill Schroeder hit 2 home runs.
Wow. Gennett sending one the other way. Aoki gets underneath it as it tails into the corner for the second out.
Kind of knocked me down a few pegs.
You can't listen to everything you hear on TV, you know.
Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't have been watching. I wanted to see the homers, though.
I shouldn't say this, but sometimes in that case you just have to turn the sound down. Just watch yourself. Watch the highlights.
I maybe
watch
thought they would have said something nice, you know, 2 homers. Kind of led with that.
See, what year was that, Rock? Do you know?
90.
1990. I would have been doing sports in Madison at that time. No,
okay.
no. See, if you would have listened to my sportscast in Madison, I would have said heavy hitting. You can count on him, Bill Schroeder.
Yeah.
Going the other way twice.
You were sound asleep when I hit those. That was on the West Coast, right?
We always use Brewer highlights the next day when you were on the West Coast.
Yeah, but I was with the Angels.
Doesn't matter. I knew it would have been significant, Ron. Bill Schroeder, home run by stadium in his career. Of course, 21 in your home ballpark, County Stadium. Next is the Kingdome.
Yeah.
Ball traveled well there.
I told you, I liked that ballpark.
You just liked the ballpark.
I did. I felt good. I felt like I saw the ball pretty well.
It is pretty amazing, though. You go into these 30 ballparks, and none of them are the same, as much as you might think so. That's what makes that hit VR. I guess not.
All the domes are different too. You know, the Kingdome and the Metrodome was one of those where that was a really big home field advantage for the Twins, because that was a ballpark that your depth perception was kind of messed up when you first get in there. By the time you get used to it, you're out of town. 3-game series.
To strike to VR. Is that more outfield walls like at the Metrodome? It was so bright in there, like for a day game, because the roof was very light. Kingdome, I would imagine that was a solid roof, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you ask a player what they like about a certain ballpark and why they hit there. I don't know. Maybe they might not be able to tell you so much. You know, like Tiger Stadium for me, I always felt like those pitchers were right on top of you. You know, the depth perception. It felt like they were about 30 feet away from you. Of course, it might have had something to do with guys like, you know, Jack Morris and, Dan Petrie. Good pitching.
Guys that could almost hand it to home plate.
Mariners had good pitching in the Kingdome too. You know, Mike Moore, and they had Langston. But for some reason, I kind of felt like I saw the baseball pretty well there. And we talk about that kind of stuff with the Brewers. You know, certain hitters love certain ballparks.
VR on the go. He'll take second base uncontested. Stolen base for VR. It's number 47 on the season for Jonathan VR. So runner in scoring position with 2 outs for Broxton.
So you show the highlights of those home runs. I hadn't even been keeping score this inning. I got to catch up. I was all excited.
I know you were. I thought I'd lose you there for a minute, but you told some good stories, Rock. That's what you do, my friend. Broxton homered in his last trip up. He has 2 hits tonight. Iannetta out to talk to Caminero. Two 2-0 the count to Broxton.
Well, you know he's going to be swinging if he likes his fastball. If in fact that's what he's going to get. Of course, you figure he is with Braun coming up.
VR out at second, gets a look from Caminero, and Broxton in the right, and this one's going to bring in run number 4 for Milwaukee. They're within a run. A clutch 2-out base hit RBI for Keon Broxton, his 3rd hit of the night.
Yeah, back-to-back singles with 2 outs after the stolen base by VR. And check this out on a 2-0 pitch, fastball down the middle. Look at Broxton going to right field, hits it hard. And VR able to score, and no play. Boy, you like the way he's swinging the bat.
Broxton with 2 singles, a home run, 2 RBIs here on the night. And another visit to the mound for Stottlemyre. 5-4 the score right now. Brewers still batting here in the 7th inning. Ryan Braun will come to hit for Milwaukee. Ryan Braun 0 for 3. He's the designated hitter tonight. Ryan has not gone through too many long stretches where he's not produced for this team. 0 for 8 on the road trip coming into tonight, so he's in an 0 for 11 skid right now on this road trip.
Yeah, after having a terrific homestand with a lot of power.
Had a 2-home run game against Cincinnati last weekend, and the first pitch from Caminero is a ball, and another visit to the mound. Wilhelmsen warming up in the Mariners bullpen right now. Perhaps trying to buy a little extra time in case Braun reaches. Broxton goes, a little tapper back to the mound. And this will be out number 3 in the inning. Brewers get one though. Broxton A big 2-out RBI draws Milwaukee within a run again here tonight.
Journeys from Kaukauna, Wisconsin, if they call the Brewers, by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. That's 8 o'clock Central Time, Craig, not Pacific Time. They get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. Did you hear me?
I hear you. I'm listening.
All right, this over courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite, as Chase Anderson takes over here in the bottom of the 7th inning for the Brewers, his first relief appearance this year. Yeah, 24th appearance, 23 of them starts, and he did start a game in that doubleheader. He only lasted 2/3 of an inning. That's why Craig Counsell was elected to put him in the bullpen for tonight. And he's got the 7th.
And he's trying to keep Milwaukee's deficit at just 1 run as Iannetta leads off. Scooter Gennett stays in at second base for Milwaukee, and Perez moves out to left field. Jake Elmore is out. Gennett batted for Elmore back in the Brewer half of the 7th. Little excuse me swing. Anderson stumbles and gets the throw to first. Don't know if his cleats caught coming off the mound in the grass.
Good test for that knee, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Able to make the play. Chase with good location, a check swing from Iannetta, and for a minute that knee gave out, but I guess not. He's looking pretty good out there in the mound. Very, very fortunate Chase Anderson was on that line drive off the bat of Chris Bryant. I talked to head athletic trainer Dan Wright, maybe an inch lower, and Chase Anderson would have been in trouble. Certainly DL time, but avoided that, and he's out there tonight.
Martin trying to put a bunt down to get on base. Anderson working at a good pace here in the 7th.
Look at those 2 injuries for the Brewers in that doubleheader, Braun and Anderson. It could have been a lot worse. They're both able to play tonight. That changeup just missing that strike zone.
The count now on Martin. Anderson a long look, and Martin steps out of the box.
You know, Chase has that good changeup working. This is a good spot to throw at full count.
He misses inside. Martin draws the 1-out walk.
Well, didn't miss by much either. That's a tough pitch to take, and James Hoy didn't like it. Oh, look at that, number 6. Boy.
Got to bring up Marte with 1 down and a runner aboard here in the 7th inning. The train going through a rock out in
right out in
center
right
field and right field.
Yeah.
Anderson misses again. And Pena out to have a chalk. Here comes VR.
Well, he's not missing by much. He is just flirting with the corners of the strike zone this inning. And just missed that 3-2 pitch and didn't miss that last pitch by much. Chase not a guy that can flirt around with too much of the plate. He's got to be on the corners.
Throw to first.
The Mariners are not a team that runs a whole lot, but Martin is one that will take off. 13 for 18 in stolen bases.
And he'll take second base open there.
Nobody covering, it wouldn't have mattered. That's the way you get hurt right there. If you're Manny Pena, he was coming up ready to throw, and then nobody at second base. He had to pull up. Yeah, that's a good way to get hurt. Look at the grimace on his face and looking down in that infield, and that is not good. That's how you strain a shoulder. The Brewers might want him to throw a couple to see if he's going to be all right. And Martin got a really good jump. And I guess that's why the middle of the infield decided not even to bother. It's a big jump. VR started, then stopped, put the hands up, and that's what gave Pena the problem. Well, home plate umpire is not allowing Pena to go back out to the mound. They want to get together on the signs from second base. They're having a little discussion. You just were out there. You can't go back. And we just let him go out there and not standing there all this time, not telling him to get out there. He would be probably done by now.
Well, if that's the case, I'm not sure I've seen this before, Rock.
It's basically an injury timeout. So VR is going to go over and have Pena tell Chase Anderson what the signs are. That's brilliant. So the Brewers coaching staff tell VR to go over there, tell Pena what are the signs at second base, and now Jim Joyce is on the mound saying you can't do that. Jim Joyce is standing between Chase Anderson and Jonathan VR. This is just a battle of wills here, and I think it's absolutely ridiculous.
Have you ever seen that before?
No, never. And now Jim Joyce is coming in. He told the first base umpire to go over between VR and Anderson so that they can't have a chat. This is
where's the rule in baseball where you can't communicate on defense.
Well, the first one was an injury timeout. They wanted to go out, see if Pena was all right. Now, I'm assuming that that's what this is all about. Now, if it's something else, my apologies, but there's a reason why you have now 2 umpires standing in between VR and Anderson, not allowing them to communicate on the mound.
I would guess that you are correct there, but we're going to have to see what Craig Counsell says after the ball game. Well, we'll see if Chase Anderson's been around long enough to figure this one out on his own, apparently, if he's not being allowed to communicate with his catcher. Marte in the 1-1 count. This one slapped into left field, and this falls in for a base hit. Here comes a run. Perez can't come up with the ball initially. And now a big turn at second base. It's going to be an RBI double after all that. And Seattle tacks on their lead now 6-4.
And Pena having a little discussion with James Hoy, and now he says you can go out and talk to your pitcher. That's a nice piece of hitting by Marte, just dumping it down the line, and after the stolen base by Martin, he's able to score. And now Pena went out and had the discussion that he wanted to have before that pitch was thrown. I get it one time. If you go out there just to have a chat, then you come back, and then you go back out. I get that, but the first one was all about the potential injury to the Brewers catcher when he started to throw and stopped.
Now top of the order, and Sean O'Malley.
But I was looking in the Brewers dugout when all that was going on between Pena and the home plate umpire. It was Ed Cedar. He's the one I saw to tell Vina, talk to Pena, and then go out and talk to Anderson, which the umpires did not allow.
This one slow roller cut off by Jeanette, and it saves a run, but everybody's safe on the infield hit. Marte moves to third. O'Malley safe at first. This is Chase Anderson's third year in the big leagues, and this is his first relief appearance.
And coming in a tight game. And you know, with Chase Anderson, normally when he struggles, it's early in the game, you know, first, second inning, and you really don't have that luxury working out of the bullpen.
72nd appearance in the big leagues. The first 71 were starts. Here's Aoki batting for the second time in as many innings.
But you know, this is a function Craig Counsell really had no choice because of all the work the bullpen got in that Cup Series. You got a lot of guys that have worked an awful lot of innings, and Chase Anderson, the one guy that's relatively fresh.
Well, he only threw 11 pitches on Tuesday night. And is injury free now, worked through that, so he has a fresh arm. The plan is to use him in relief here and then get him back in that rotation. I'm sure they're going to potentially have to regroup in that rotation once the homestand hits starting Monday. Peralta scheduled to pitch tomorrow, Garza on Sunday. Brent Suter made his first big league start to get this game underway. Oki waves and misses. And there are 2 down.
Yeah, big out for Anderson right there. 2-run game, man at third, less than 2, and gets Aoki on strikes. Good pitch on the inside corner. An 0-2 pitch, threads a needle on the inside corner. Now the fun begins.
Here is Cano with Cruz waiting on deck and Seager in the hole. Every original starter in this lineup for the Mariners has reached base safely at least once. The Brewers have committed 3 errors in this game.
Well, there's 4 innings for the Mariners. They have been men on base. They have loaded the bases. There's been activity. Brewer pitching staff has been trying to get through these innings with a lot of traffic.
One of the 3 errors scored. One of the walks in this game has scored. The Mariners have hit 2 home runs. The Brewers have countered with 3 solo home runs and a 2-out RBI single in the 7th inning to draw within a run at that point, but now Seattle's added 1 more to it. That's what we saw a lot of in yesterday's game at Wrigley Field. The Brewers would get back in the game against the Cubs, and then they tack on another run. And the catch made out there by Arcia. So a run given up by Anderson, a weird 7th inning, but Milwaukee trails by only 2.
'27 as the Brewers take on the Pirates. Get a Brewers trucker hat with a special country night ticket package. Plus enjoy a post-game concert from country music star Kit Moore, courtesy of 94.5 KTI Country.
Here's Tom Wilhelmsen coming in now for the Mariners.
Another big earned run average at 6.5 for Wilhelmsen, and 41st appearance, a 2-3 record. And not a big strikeout guy. 24 strikeouts and just shy of 39 innings of work. So both bullpens getting a lot of activity tonight. Brewers have used 3. And now the Mariners with their 3rd reliever.
Wilhelmsen sent to face Perez in the Brewer 8th inning. 6-4, Mariners out in front. Single and a stolen base tonight for Perez. He was robbed of an extra base hit back in the 4th inning. O'Malley made a nice catch leaping up at the wall.
Another good day at the plate for Perez tonight. Wilhelmsen started the season with the Texas Rangers, got designated for assignment, was granted free agency, and The Mariners picked him up on June 22nd. Guy that throws a lot of strikes, doesn't walk too many.
Count full to Perez. And Perez strikes out. That's how the 8th inning starts out for Milwaukee. That'll bring up Chris Carter.
Yeah, you see that pitch from Wilhelmsen just a little bit off the corner, and Perez protecting home plate. 92 miles an hour on that pitch.
Boy, each pitcher so far in this game bringing different stuff, huh?
Yeah. A lot of breaking pitches for Wilhelmsen. I think it was a cutter that got Perez that time.
One and one to Carter. He had a booming home run back in the 5th inning. Struck out his last time up.
'96.
The 1-2 to Carter. Takes one outside, 2-2. Carter, one of 3 home runs hit by Milwaukee tonight. This is again 3-2. Wilhelmsen had Perez on a full count before striking him out. Carter smashes one into center field, and it falls for a base hit. So a runner aboard for Milwaukee brings the tying run up in Domingo Santana.
Good job by Carter staying on it. Got it down on the end of the bat and dumps it in front of Martin in center. And once again, as you mentioned, 3 home runs already for Milwaukee. Another one ties the game. Didn't want to walk him, threw him right down the middle. And a base hit.
This one fouled away by Santana. Domingo Santana activated off the disabled list for this game. Had a single back in the 5th inning and then was caught trying to steal second. Walked back in the 6th. There goes Carter. Throw is not in time. How about Chris Carter? He's suddenly becoming a base stealer for Milwaukee.
What's that, his 3rd?
That's his 3rd in a span of just over a week.
And the Mariners might want to take a look at that. Cano with a swipe tag might have got him on the top of the head. There's Scott Service taking a look at it. And they want to go to a review. Good throw by Iannetta. Let's see. Did they get him? Jim Joyce says no.
Cano said yes.
Got him right there. Where's the foot? Can't tell.
From that angle, it's tough to see. Well, the call in the field is safe at second base, made by Jim Joyce.
Yeah, this might get overturned here. They showed a couple of replays on the scoreboard that looked like they might have gotten him. But a good swipe tag by Robinson Cano might have got him on the leg.
overturned.
Yeah, this will be the best look right here. You see the tag right there, and Carter not yet at the bag, and Jim Joyce got his call overturned.
A very close play, nonetheless. So Santana continues his at bat and grounds out to Cano. So that ends the Brewer 8th inning. They still trail by 2. That is a load and a half for the coaches' connections right
no
there.
Kidding. Grayson's, he's
stuff.
at the top of his game. What time is it back there? After midnight?
It's after midnight, my friend.
Well done.
Long fly ball, right field, and Cruz is out. Santana hauls it in. First out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Chase Anderson in his 2nd inning in relief for Milwaukee. A bizarre 7th inning. Some quirky things going on. He gave up a run and left 2 stranded. So Cruz is out. Here is Seager. Seager, a good night at the plate. A solo home run and a single and a walk. And a tough out. Anderson pitching for the first time out of the bullpen in his career. Anderson was pitching well, Rock, before he was injured in that first inning in Chicago. He was back in one of those grooves. He had repositioned himself on the mound. He was talking about that being part of his success. So from a batter's perspective, he was a little more right, and now you see him line up more left.
Third base side of the bag. Third base side of the pitching rubber, yeah. Sometimes that'll give you a little bit of angle on that pitch into the hitter.
Arcia long way, foul territory, and can't make the play. No, that's Villar. Brewers are in that shift, and he was way over to the shortstop side and looked like he was there in time to make the catch, but couldn't come up with it.
He just missed it. Just flat missed it. That could be an error. He went a long way for it, but you know, all the hard work was done. This is the easy part, just catching the baseball. He was fortunate it didn't hit him in the face.
Not even sure it made contact with his glove.
Right, it didn't.
And the Brewers have already committed 3 errors in this game. There's Arcia in that shift, throwing out Seager. 2 down. Our Miller Lite What's on Tap. Tomorrow we're back on the air at 7:30 for Brewers Live. Willie Peralta and King Felix Hernandez on the mound. This should be a pretty good matchup. Hernandez is back in full form for the Mariners, and so is Willie Peralta for the Brewers right now.
Yeah, it's going to be a rematch of 3 years ago. A game against Peralta and King Felix.
Yeah, I believe.
How many times do you think we're going to call him King Felix tomorrow? I say none. You don't say it.
Oh, you're not going to say
no,
any?
I'm not.
And you don't want me to, or you're predicting how many I'm going to?
I'm saying you can't do it.
Oh, you're shutting me down. Here's Willie Peralta, his last 3 outings. Can't argue with those numbers. And that's since he's returned from his stint in the minor leagues.
Throwing hard, and the slider is back for Willie Peralta, and hopefully it continues.
So what if I said Big Willie and King Felix?
I didn't say you couldn't say Big Willie. I didn't say you can't say either one. I'm just betting that you can't get through a game without saying it. What
are we wagering here? That might help me.
I don't know how much you want to lose.
But you purchased all the lunches on this road trip so far, so.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think that game 3 years ago, Rock, was that a 1-0 final, 2 hours, 11 minutes?
Right. Day game. It was getaway day for the Brewers.
Yep.
Good change up that time, just missing it.
Those are the getaway days, though, when it goes that fast and then your plane's not there.
Right.
And you got to wait for the plane, right?
Yeah, you talk about a change up now. Felix Hernandez has a dandy.
Sir.
He does.
He had to go on the DL, and since he's come off, he's done a nice job. This one hit a long way and out of the ballpark for Adam Lind. Line drive right down the line. A solo home run for Lind, and that extends the lead out now by 3 runs, 7-4.
That pitch down and in, and he turned on it. 3rd home run for Seattle. 6 home runs in the game tonight. Now off-speed pitch, and Adam Lind goes down and gets it, lines it out of here. Big run for Seattle, a 3-run lead.
Chase Anderson has given up a run in each inning of relief so far. 1 in the 7th, 1 here in the 8th. These deficits are tough for the way Milwaukee's offense is built right now. However, you still look at the score, and they're still so very much in it. And we've seen the Brewers rally. They did it against the Cubs, against Chapman in the early part of that series. Coming up with clutch hits is another thing when you're trailing by 2 or 3 runs. Iannetta strikes out. The Mariners add 1. So we go to the top of the 9th now. The Brewers, their final 3 outs coming up, trailing by 3. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Spend the night with luxury. Back here in Seattle, Edwin Diaz comes in to close things out. A 7-4 lead for the Mariners over the Brewers.
Look at these strikeout totals for Diaz. Almost 2 per inning and only 9 walks. He took over the closer's role in August 2nd, and is 8 for 8.
He faces Manny Pena to lead things off for Milwaukee. Chase Anderson came in and pitched the last 2 innings in relief for Milwaukee. First time he has pitched in relief in 72 big league games, and gave up 2 runs. And so the Brewers have a hole here to dig out of. It was interesting when Diaz came in for his appearance to this ballpark. The actual game lights started strobing. Never seen that before, but apparently last year Safeco Field became the first major league park to illuminate the playing field with LED lights to reduce glare and shadows, and it uses 60% less power, so they're able to do things like that. It was quite a show. It was like a fireworks show.
Yeah, crazy.
And there will be fireworks, I guess, after the game, Rock. Just so you're aware, we have a little show.
Right.
So Pena draws the walk to lead off here in the 9th inning. That's what you need, base runners.
Yep, a lot going on this weekend. You got a Star Wars weekend here, and got a bobblehead day on Sunday.
I think they're showing a movie after the game tomorrow here.
Really?
A movie. One of the Star Wars movies, I think.
99 miles an hour. This guy has got some ungodly strikeout numbers.
Well, they just saw Chapman for, what, 3 out of those 4 games in Chicago, throwing up to 103.
Yeah, so I guess 99 is no big deal.
Arcia base hit back in the 5th inning. 1 for 3 tonight. Big swing and a miss there. 1 and 2.
This guy's averaging 16.5 strikeouts per 9 innings this year.
That's nuts. On the outside corner, 99, and strike 3.
Nice and easy, and catching that outside corner. Maybe got a little bit off the plate, but James Hoy rang it up. There you see it. Borderline, but got the call.
Here's Scooter Gennett with 1 down and a runner at first base. His second at bat of the game came in as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning. There's a strike to Gennett, 1-1.
A little generous off that corner now, for Diaz.
Diaz perfect in 8 save opportunities, and you can see why. He's got electric stuff. And Gennett misses. 2-2. Good crowd here at Safeco, getting louder. Outside, 3-2. 2. Jeanette runs it full. Here's the 3-2. Jeanette strikes out. 2 down.
Throwing that hard and catching those outside corner like he does. I mean, that's why you can see how he gets those big strikeout numbers. Nice, easy delivery. Just explodes out of his hand. Gets on you in a hurry.
Here's VR. Ball 1. VR a home run, a single, a stolen base, 2 runs scored. See if he can keep it going. Milwaukee trailing by 3. Pena drew a walk to open things up here in the 9th. 2-0 now to VR.
Yeah, to figure out a way to get another base runner on and take your chance. You got 2 and 3 coming up. Just figure out any way to get on.
Mariners trying to secure a win that would get them within 2 of the final wild card spot as we move into the 3rd week of August. This is again 3-0.
Taking all the way.
Keon Broxton waits on deck. He has also homered tonight. Three and 1. Here's Broxton. And he walks him. So the tying run coming into the plate. 2 walks in the inning. 2 are down for Broxton.
Yep, and the Thunder coming up.
Let's go back to the 6th inning for Keon Broxton.
Got a cutter and knocked it out of here. Line drive. Got 3 hits tonight. See if he can go deep here. He's going to have to try and catch up to that big fastball.
Another visit to the mound. That's amazing with this Brewer team. We just talked about it last half inning. They never seem out of it. As tough as this season has been.
They scratch and claw. They do. Never really get blown out of games, every now and again, but they always seem to be right there. Just have not been able to get over the top. Trying to do that tonight.
Let's see if Broxton can make it a 4-hit game. Diaz misses again on his first pitch. 1-0. Pena at second, VR at first. Broxton represents the tying run. 2 down here in the 9th for Milwaukee. Diaz delivers a strike. 98-mile-an-hour fastball to even the count. Two and 1.
Kind of lost his release point a little bit, has Diaz here. This one not even close.
He's trying to get his 9th save, and it is not coming very smoothly. He has struggled with 2 walks. Here's the 2-1. Right inside again to Broxton. Shakes him out of that batter's box. Ryan Braun waits on deck. He would love to get an opportunity with the bases loaded. He drops one in for a strike.
Yeah, got the slider in on him.
We're on their feet here at Safeco Field. Greg Counsell's Brewers battling here in the ninth. Full count pitch to Broxton. High ball four, and he's walked the bases loaded. And here comes Ryan Braun. Wow, what a ninth inning the Brewers have been able to put together against the closer Diaz.
Yeah, 2 walks, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts for Diaz. Well, now the Brewers bring the go-ahead run to the plate. And then you got Cishek, the former closer, getting loose. He's got 25 saves.
He's quickly warming up in that bullpen. Ryan Braun 0 for 4 in this game. High ball one to Braun.
Just can't find it.
Braun takes his time settling back into the batter's box. Diaz has walked 3 to load the bases. 2 down here in the ninth. Here's the 1-0. Big hack by Braun on off speed.
Has better control of the slider than he does the fastball in this inning.
Braun's numbers with the bases loaded. He's got 5 grand slams. This one fouled away. A ball and 2 strikes. Diaz is going to need at least 30 pitches to get through this inning if he's going to pick up his 9th save. The 1-2 just misses at 100 miles an hour on the outside corner.
Well, not much you can do with that pitch. You might as well take it. Borderline. Wow, tough pitch to take.
First time he's reached 100 here tonight. Count is even. Braun lines one left field, base hit. 2 runs are going to score. Broxton on his way to third. There's the throw, and Braun at first. 2 runs in. Milwaukee within 7-6.
That was a great at bat by Ryan Braun. A 5-pitch at bat, all sliders except for one. And you can see Diaz really scuffling with his command. I mean, he just can't find it. Getting on the side of it, got the count to even. 1-1 here. And this pitch right here, very close. Could have ended the ball game, but did not. Goes back with a breaking pitch and Braun with a base hit. And now the tying run at third base with 2 outs. One of these battling Brewers, good job. 3 walks, a base hit, and 90 feet away from tying the game.
Braun's first hit on the road trip in 13 plate appearances gets Milwaukee within a run. And here's Hernan Perez. Takes a whack at that first pitch and fouls it back.
That's pretty good base running by Broxton to get to third base. Pretty aggressive base running at that.
Yeah, that ball hit right in front of him. And with 2 down, you got to make sure you get there. He's got speed, though. He's 90 feet away in case something gets past Iannetta. Perez now down 2 strikes. Tying run at third, go-ahead run at first. 2 down in the ninth.
A lot of pitches for the closer. 33.
Former Brewer Adam Lynn hit a home run in the 8th. That was run number 7. Perez strikes out, and the Mariners hang on. Diaz, a rough inning, but he had 3 runs to work with, gave up 2, and Milwaukee falls 1 short in a 7-6 loss. Tough one here to open up interleague play in Seattle. For more in this game, let's send it back to the studio now and Jeff Grayson.